Trump's tariffs and the threat of stagflation.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of Trend Talks with Jenny and Joey. I'm excited to dive into today's topic.
That's right. Today, we're going to talk about the economic implications of Trump's tariffs and the looming threat of stagflation.
It's a crucial conversation, especially as we see these policies potentially influencing our economic landscape. Let's get into it.
So, to kick things off, we need to understand what exactly is happening with these tariffs. Trump's administration imposed a slew of tariffs on various goods, right?
Absolutely. These tariffs were aimed at countries like China, with the intent to protect American jobs and industries. But the ripple effects are widespread.
Right. And one of the significant concerns is that these tariffs could lead to stagflation. What is stagflation, for those who might not be familiar?
Stagflation is a tricky economic situation where we have high inflation and stagnant economic growth, coupled with high unemployment. It's a rare but dangerous combination.
Exactly. And that's what makes this topic so important. The article suggests that the tariffs might be pushing us towards this stagflation scenario.
That's right. When tariffs increase the cost of imported goods, it can lead to higher prices for consumers. This is inflation in action.
And higher prices can lead to reduced consumer spending. If people are spending more on essentials, they have less money for other goods and services.
Exactly. Reduced consumer spending can slow down economic growth. Businesses might cut back on hiring or even lay off workers because of reduced demand.
So, you're left with a situation where the economy isn't growing, but prices are still rising. That's the stagflation part.
And it's not just about prices and growth. High tariffs can also lead to retaliatory measures from other countries. This can disrupt global trade and further strain the economy.
The article mentions that the U.S. has been in a period of low inflation and low interest rates for quite some time. Suddenly introducing tariffs could disrupt this delicate balance.
Right. The tariffs are an additional burden on an already complex economic environment. They can make it harder for businesses to plan and invest.
And it's not just businesses that are affected. Workers in industries that rely on imported goods or export markets can also feel the pinch.
It's a complicated web of economic interactions. The tariffs can create a vicious cycle where inflation leads to reduced spending, which leads to slower growth, which in turn keeps inflation high.
The article also highlights that policymakers are grappling with this issue. They're trying to find a balance between protecting domestic industries and maintaining economic stability.
It's a tough balancing act. The challenge is to protect jobs and industries without creating broader economic instability.
And that's why it's so important for us to understand these dynamics. As consumers and citizens, we're all part of this economic ecosystem.
Absolutely. Awareness and understanding can help us make informed decisions and advocate for policies that support economic health.
It's also a reminder of how interconnected our global economy is. Policies in one country can have far-reaching impacts.
That's a key takeaway from this discussion. Economic policies are not just about numbers and graphs, they affect real people and real lives.
Well said. And that's why we're here, to break down these trends and make them accessible and engaging for everyone.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of Trend Talks with Jenny and Joey. We hope you found this conversation insightful and informative.
Stay tuned for our next episode, where we'll explore another hot topic. Until then, keep an eye on the trends shaping our world.